We are down on the bayou as you get a look inside the Caesars Superdome here in New Orleans. Tonight we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Minnesota Vikings and the New Orleans Saints. And the opening kickoff will not be returned as that will be a touchback. Cousins now to throw on first down. Setting up the screen for Cook. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. A big play there on the first play of the game. 75 yards. That's how you run the screen right there. The defenders get out of place, and then there's a lot of room to maneuver for your running back.
That's because all the defenders, or I should say the bulk of the defenders, were chasing the quarterback. Great disguise, great fake. Got the screen out there, turned into a large gain.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. He's at the 50, 30, 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Lutz with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Back to it after the pick six. Cousins. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, I guess that answers the question whether or not they want him throwing it again right away after throwing the pick six on the previous drive.
Yeah, not something conservative or underneath. Pretty big shot right there.
Get him right back in the saddle and said, go ahead and sling it, big guy.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Cousins now. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Cousins to throw it. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Now a timeout here, at least for the moment. Looks like one of the Saints is injured, shaken up on that last play. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. So on 4th down, Ryan Wright on to punt for Minnesota. Back deep, a Louisiana native, Jarvis Landry. Take it at the 37. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. A 1st down throw coming for Dalton. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that will bring up 2nd down. A first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. To the 36-yard line. Stop there.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play, backwards a yard.
Brandon, that's what you call being manhandled at the point of attack. And I know the offensive line gets a lot of blame for that one. But occasionally, the defense just knows what you're going to do. Maybe they scouted it perfectly. Maybe someone tipped it off. But on that play, it had no chance.
That's complete to Troutman, right side. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender. But the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Defense doing their job, really nowhere to run the football.
Yeah, it's almost textbook, wasn't it? Every place he tried to find an open spot, there just wasn't one. Congrats to the defense, no gain.
Call fitting your gaps, right?
I love it. You're exactly right.
Dalton throwing on 2nd down. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss. A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. And Dalton to throw. He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 16. 3rd and 19, no problem, as they're able to convert.
That's a big gainer on that play, and from experience, I can tell you, that's where defensive backs will come into the huddle and say, guys, how about some pass rush? But you're going to say it nicely because those big guys up front, they don't like being criticized very much. Quarterbacks in this league, you know they'll pick you apart if you give them time like that to find receivers downfield.
And the Saints are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5. Well, they clearly wanted to come out, Charles, and be aggressive throwing the football, and they've been pretty efficient along with that aggressiveness. He's now 4 of 4 on this opening drive.
Yeah, and that's led to a fresh set of downs. I like what he's doing back there. You can tell he's at ease, feels good about what he's doing. And I think if I'm the play caller, I'm reading that, and I'm continuing to let him throw the football.
Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Again, Kamara. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Saints have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. And that caps off what was really a balanced opening drive for them, Charles. They work in the rushing game and the aerial attack, and they end it with a touchdown.
Strong in so many ways, wasn't it, partner? Their ability to throw it and run it and accomplish their goal, they've got to like the way that they started this ball game.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. First down, here's Cousins. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. He's got size, the hands.
Speed. Can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Looking to throw again on second down. Cousins. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
The defense thought they had that play covered, but it still got driven backward by those blockers. Those types of plays are a key part of any team's offensive game plan. It all starts up front in the trenches.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6. To throw is Cousins. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Now back to throw. And this almost intercepted. Not sure he saw the free safety that time. But lucky, incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. It's been a good first. And he goes down. Dalton couldn't get rid of it, and that will be a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. Now Osborne to return it. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. He'll start by handing it off to Dalvin Cook. And it's a fumble. And this is picked up by the Saints.
Do you remember in preseason we were going to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills, and, guys either slapping at the ball or the machines. You got to learn to take care of it.
Yeah, they lost it there. Big fumble. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. On 2nd and 9, Dalton. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And they'll work this down inside the 30. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Now Dalton. It's caught. Smith. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, not it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
Here's Kamara off the draw. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. To throw on 2nd and 6, Dalton. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. And the Vikings are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. Following the interception, Cousins. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 20. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. Well, we've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing. This league, no question about it. That wasn't the biggest of gains, but it was enough to get them a 1st down. And it continues to test the defense. They have to think on every play about who might end up with the ball.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on 1st down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
6 yards left on 2nd down. Now Cousins. Looking deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They give him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And that will be incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on third down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
So on fourth down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A good pickup there, a 22. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. A 10th carry for Kamara. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
Well, let's face it, that's just a helpless feeling for a running back there. He's looking up to find a hole, and all he finds is a whole lot of ticked-off linebacker.
Looking at a second and 11 now after the loss. They run it again with Kamara. And room there to work it inside the 25. 45 yards on the ground for him so far.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick it down, any down, even third down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. A quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Dalton. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. Touchdown, Saints. Jarvis Landry, an 11-yard touchdown, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
The catch and the touchdown, they were the end result of a terrific route run by the receiver.
Lutz good on the extra point, and that will make this a 19-point game. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Nwangu now from his end zone. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
Cousins on first down. Open man, he's got Jefferson across the formation. A gain of 8 there on the play, and they'll be left with 2nd and a couple.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. To throw again on 2nd down. Cousins. That's to Cook out of the backfield. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. They'll throw again. Cousins. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete.
All right, say it with me now. There are a lot of different words we can come up with. Maybe we go back and forth after that play, getting his toes tapped down to make that catch. Crafty?
Yep. Wily?
Oh, definitely.
All the veteran names?
You name it. Has every move in the book and continued to get better throughout his career so he can make that type of a catch.
And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. First and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. He'll dump, and he loses the football a second time. The Saints say they have it, and they do. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. Try to get that one to Chris Olave, and it's 2nd down.
That was well defended. They clamped down on every available receiver. Just got to give the win to the defense on that snap.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. To throw here, Dalton. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Give them credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Dalton. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they're having panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins.
We're going back to the same well. It's Hockenson again.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Set now to go for the 3rd quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick.
Washington now brings this out. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
yeah, they went into the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing, Dalton. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Well, he left no doubt about that one, because even though he hasn't left the pocket, he's got a receiver in the area, so it's not grounding, even though there was no way that ball was going to be caught.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Dalton now to pass.
A quick one here, hauled in by Kamara.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he?
Touchdown! Adam Troutman. 52 yards as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Charles, that was a heck of a play.
It truly was, because when he made that catch, he had to shake through some people, right? So that play, to me, a highlight film that should be accompanied by bass music, right? I mean, boom, 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 and he finds his way to the end zone. Terrific play.
Lutz with the extra point, and that will bump the lead up to 26. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
Taking it about the 1. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
A CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one. Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
Well, they've got to remember that they're not going to get it all back on one drive, but that being said, they also had to come out here in the third quarter with a sense of urgency and playmaking ability, and they showed it on that last play.
On 1st and 10, Cousins.
That is into the hands of Hockenson downfield.
Touchdown, Vikings! T.J. Hockenson, 42 yards.
And the Vikings get a bit closer.
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
Joseph connects on the extra point.
And that'll make this a 19-point ball game.
Let's go now, let's go. Let's do our thing, let's do our thing. Bring it. Let's go, man.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Taken in at the 3. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield.
70 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
You know, I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Again, it's Kamara. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. From midfield here, Dalton. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
And Daniil Hunter, he's the one who gets in there and brings him down to the ground. Well, it's been a little bit of feast or famine because he's thrown for decent yardage, and obviously they've got the lead, Charles, but now he's been sacked 4 times.
And what I'm focusing on is his toughness in the pocket. Because you mentioned the feast or famine part, he's played well in between being dumped on his back. But every time he's had a chance to throw the football, he's been impressive.
A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return.
And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, After we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Meanwhile, Cousins' throw pulled in by Jefferson.
And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line.
Cousins in step with Jefferson that time. First down, Vikings.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Give the sack to David Onyemata, the product of Nigeria by way of Canada.
I think we've seen this before. If someone's down 3 scores, that situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Just a gain of a couple there. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis.
And the Saints are going to take possession of the football.
They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Still 9 yards to go on 2nd down from the 27.
Passing, it's Dalton. And he's got the hook up to Landry.
And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
A busy night continues for Kamara. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. The tackle there by Patrick Peterson. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Kamara up the middle. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves him needing about 7 here on 3rd down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
6.
Third down, a shot here for Dalton. This is caught. Touchdown, Saints. Andy Dalton with his 3rd touchdown pass of the game.
And the Saints are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter.
Lutz good on the extra point, and that will bump the lead up to 26. We have played 3 quarters.
You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Back now here live in New Orleans, where the 4th quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the 3rd quarter.
Nwangu now from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Only able to gain a couple there, and now we've got a 3rd and 4.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Okay, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Cousins to throw it. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That, I believe, will put him over 100 yards receiving for the game. Yes, it will. And he's got a 1st down to boot.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. The sack coming from defensive end Cameron Jordan.
You can almost see all the defenders rubbing their hands together with glee because we all know they relish the chance to bring down a quarterback of his caliber. Anyone who brings him down has plenty to talk about. Not just a sack, but a big win built off the efforts of this defense.
Another try after the 1st down sack. Cousins setting up the screen for Cook. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there and take the hit and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
3rd and long for Cousins.
That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide because that's prime pick-6 territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who was going to catch it was sitting in the 3rd row.
And the 3rd interception thrown by Cousins.
Picked off by Justin Evans.
And the Saints are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
A give. This is Kamara.
And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st. And Dalton to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. But that's just a minor blip here in what's been a thoroughly dominating performance.
Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, you know, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
Working with a 2nd and 3.
Cousins now. Oh, puts it on the carpet. It's out. I'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
A first down throw for Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete.
And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Cousins again. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I guess at this point, Charles, heck, why not take some shots?
I would agree with that totally because a big play can't hurt at all. Heck, you might get a pass interference call out of it. Somehow the ball might get tipped up and you come down with it. Might not do too much for the result of the game, but it could add to your stats.
The offense on third down tonight, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. Open man is Thielen. It's complete.
And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
First down, here's the run with Cook. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
Good yardage there on first down, exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
2nd and 4, they could still get a first down without scoring.
Throwing is Cousins. Touchdown, Vikings!
K.J. Osborne
from 6 yards away.
And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the 4th quarter after that one, CD. And, well, he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, and I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, it actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely play with more confidence because he certainly saw something he could exploit in the defense, and he made sure to let his quarterback know, just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him, and he delivered and made it a 3-score game.
Let's focus in on what we gotta do here. That's right. Let's have some fun. Let's get something going.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this 4th quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the 4th quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
Second down, and it's Kamara again.
And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5. Here's Dalton.
He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
On the ground, Kamara. And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. 101 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
Well, we're beyond the tone setting right now. This guy's been the bell cow all day, and they'll continue to rely on him to move the chains, drain the clock, and lead his team.
So it's a win here for the Saints, and it was thanks in large part to the play of the man who's been doing this for a while, their veteran quarterback.
Yeah, he really had a great night throwing the football. 3 touchdown passes. He was totally locked in. He was precise and really willed his guys to the victory.